Here's the former Cornhusker Brett Maher to get this one started. And in front of a raucous crowd, this one is underway. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
At their own 19-yard line.
Let's go high. Number 53, Mike 53. Let's go, defense.
Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. Cook with a first down and much more. And he's all the way up to the 39-yard line that time. Just like that, a pickup of... ...20 on their first play from scrimmage.
It's a gain of 20. First down, Minnesota.
From up near the 40 now after the big play to start. Here's another first and 10.
36.
Off the play fake, Cousins. And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. To get away, but could not.
Offensive 3 yards on the sack. It's second down.
Gotta hope that's not a sign of things to come as they face an early second and long. Cousins gives way to Cook. And he'll grab a gain of 5 out of this up to the 41-yard line.
All right, Brad, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
And for the Colts, an extra defensive back in there now on third down. Working out of the gun, Cousins. And he's able to find Diggs. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another first down at the Colts 33. And on this first drive, looks like they want to get that vertical passing game going early.
And they did, and what a warning shot they just fired. If you're not going to back up and play coverage deep, we're going to attack you all game long. And once you adjust to that and you start to back off, then that opens things up underneath. A really nice start for them. Great way to get the game going.
A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
2nd and 3 at the Colts 26-yard line.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Back to the ground. This time Cook. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation? We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game. It's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up.
And the pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down. Darius Leonard picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. Charles, a little bit of feast or famine on this drive. They moved the ball okay, but they've been sacked twice now.
And they've got to figure out how to plug that leak a little bit, right? Keep them away from the quarterback because when he's not being hit, as you mentioned, they're moving the ball well.
Cousins throw complete to Thielen. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
3rd and long for Cousins. And this one hauled in by Rudolph. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Kyle Rudolph, 27 yards. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. A long opening drive, but a very successful opening drive. We call that methodical, I guess, when it takes that many plays.
Methodical and almost like a boxing match where you're hitting them with body blows. They can withstand them here. Look, they gave up the touchdown, but you don't feel like a knockout is there. But they keep doing that in the 4th quarter. That's when the knockout occurs.
And it becomes tough for that defense if they're on the field that long. We'll see if they can continue that in future drives. Extra point good by Prater, and that makes the score 7-0. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30.
At their own 28-yard line.
Luck and the Colts come up now 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
11B.
A shotgun snap for Locke. Funches has it complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Good yardage there for the Colts. 18 and a first down.
Defense gives up a touchdown the opening drive. Offense, you got to want to get out there and get those points back right now.
And that's a sharp throw there to get this drive off to a good start. Nyheim Hines, his first carry. And no room to maneuver there. Give him a yard up to the 47.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Come on, the ball. Close.
On 2nd and 9. Luck. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
I think we'll see more of them trying to get him the football out of the backfield. They love what he can do in open space, and they believe that he creates mismatches they can exploit.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. From the gun, here's Locke. Got an open man, that's Campbell. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 38-yard line.
Plenty of things to talk about here, partner, but to me, their defense gave up a touchdown on the first drive. How about how they're responding, coming back? That's a big 3rd down pickup to keep their drive alive.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Throwing his luck. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Say hello to Eric Kendricks. He gets the sack there.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. T.Y. Hilton, the intended receiver, and it's third down.
Check out. 674. Hey, me and you all day. All day. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
Out of the gun, Luck. But when this ball's tipped and intercepted, picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks, and they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line.
Well, there definitely was some juice on that pass. And while tight ends don't always have the same reputation for hands as wide receivers do, in this case, that ball was expected to be caught.
Good starting field position for the Vikings as they have it 1st and 10. They start the drive with Cook. And he's going to get hit at the line of scrimmage and driven backwards. And Ndamukong Suh makes the tackle. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. The Vikings with the football here to begin the second quarter as they've got it with a 2nd and 10. On play action, Cousins. The throw complete to Beebe. Touchdown, Vikings! Chad Beebe, 59 yards. And the Vikings get the quick strike touchdown.
Well, this is exactly where I expect teams to take a shot. Right after a turnover, you count on the defense being a little bit jumbled coming out on the field, maybe catch them back on their heels, and that's exactly what they did there. They threw it downfield and really created a big play.
Well, you said jumbled. They were the definition of jumbled defensively. One play and into the end zone. Prater for the extra point, and that'll make the score 14-0. And after the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points. Get that 0 off the board.
Check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Let's go, defense.
On 2nd down, Godfrey. And he'll get about 3 as he takes this up near the 25.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is just going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on 3rd down. Luck. And he's got his man Hilton. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Indianapolis moving the chains there on a gain of 12.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. On first down, it's Hines. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. And finally brought down at the 43. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
That's another Colts first down. First and 10 at the 43-yard line.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up first and 10 at the 43. Now it's Hines, and it's a fumble, and the Vikings pick up the football. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, they could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But this is the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
Hey, pick your game up.
They run again on first down. Cook. And he'll get it down here to the 43. It was Justin Houston who got him down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Throwing is Cousins. It's complete to Diggs. Unable to corral him. He fights through. Stephon Diggs. Touchdown, Vikings. Stephon Diggs. 43 yards. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage.
Everybody likes to see the long ball thrown, but when you throw it underneath and you see someone catch the ball, secure it, make their moves, and then turn it into bigger plays, that's a lot of fun to watch as well.
Extra point good by Prater, and that makes the score 21-0. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
At their own 26-yard line.
The Indy offense at the line and set to go. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10.
All day, all day.
Now it's Locke. And the catch made by Hilton. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Second down pass play got him 8 yards. Now they've got a 3rd and a couple remaining. Here's Locke. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield. Complete. An effective 7-yard 3rd down conversion.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Check out. He don't want it.
On 1st and 10, Locke. He's got it to Hilton. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. 25 yards that time.
That's another Colts first down. 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL here on this opening weekend. He's going to let this go end zone, and this is going to be intercepted. P.J. Williams with a pick, and a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. This is 1st and goal and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. They'll try to run this one in. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
So that's going to move them half the distance.
First of all, you can't jump in this situation, but think about your play calling now. Could easily change what you want to do and maybe make things a little bit easier.
Here's another 2nd and goal, this time from half the distance closer. They'll try to run this one in. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. No gain on the play there, and they're going to need to come up with something better here on 3rd and goal.
Brings up 3rd and goal.
Can this Vikings D hold up one more time? 3rd and goal. They'll try to run this one in. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. Now Brett Maher for the field goal try. From the left hash, a chip shot here. Maher able to put this one through. And the deficit drops now from 21 down to 18. The bottom line, tremendous starting field position, really squandered there as they wind up going backwards and then come up with just 3.
Well, getting the 3 turned out to be important. I can imagine the head coach when he ordered the field goal. Please salvage something out of this drive. That was not fun to watch.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
At their own 30-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. You've got under a minute to go here until halftime. You got the good-sized lead. No need to do anything crazy.
No, there really is no need to do anything crazy. The smart play, go ahead and take your lead into the locker room and then try and add to it in the second half. But there's a part of me that looks at this and says, first half going my way, I have a little bit of a cushion. Let's go ahead and try and extend things. If you've got some good plays drawn up, you might want to think about them right here.
Cousins going to come up on a 1st and 10, and he's a perfect 6 for 6 here to start the ball game. Cousins. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. So the contact came before the ball got there, and the flag is thrown.
Timing is everything, isn't it? And it's so hard to cover these great receivers. They have such great body control, and they can fake you out. In this case, as you described, got there before the ball got to the receiver. Penalty flag had to come out.
Hey, Ken. 56.
A first down throw for Cousins. And Diggs has it. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. And the timeout comes in with 2 seconds remaining. So they can trot out the field goal unit for the try before we hit the lockers. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. This will be a 34-yard attempt. And the 13-year man puts it through, and that will do it for this first half. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. That's fielded in the end zone.
Get ready, get ready, get ready.
At their own 22-yard line.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Now the pass finding its way into the hands of Eric Ebron. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. Getting it to him in space pays off big time. That winds up going for 31. Obviously, they're not where they want to be right now on the scoreboard. Big plays like that, though, that'll trend them in the right direction.
Yeah, a few more like that, they'll be right back in the game. And if they can continue to do that, maybe they'll inspire their defense as well and get a few stops.
And he's taken down inside the 30. Good yardage there for the Colts. 18 and a first down. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They look like a different team here in the third quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there are very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
They'll run on first down. Godfrey. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Check.
Here's Locke. Ebron's got it. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
And he'll get 4 there, down to about the 12-yard line.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
Watch 54. Watch twist. Slam.
They'll keep it on the ground. Godfrey. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up third down. After seeing that, maybe time to go back to some downfield throws here.
Yeah, anything. Change it up because the teams that win, the best teams, they're the ones that make adjustments. Doesn't mean you can't come back to what you thought you could get done. Sometimes when you open things up a little bit, you can get back to what you wanted to do before.
Here's play number 7 on the drive. This is 3rd and 7. Back to throw. Love. Looking for Funchess, but it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And a short pickup here as he'll get across the 10 to the 11-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. They run it again with Cook. And space opens a bit as he gets it across the 15 to the 17-yard line. Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets him into a 3rd and 1 situation. They'll run here with Sims. And he will have a first down at about the 21-yard line. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. First down, here's the run with Cook. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll try to throw now. Cousins. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. 22 yards on the catch and run, a first down. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does. Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
From just shy of midfield, Cousins. Wide open receiver, complete. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another first down at the Colts 35.
It's a gain of 17 yards. First down, Vikings.
Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. We are through 3 quarters here on NFL Kickoff Weekend. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Cousins going to come up on a 1st and 10, and he's hit on his first 9 passes now in the ball game. On first down, it's Cook. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. A gain of 13. It's a first down.
Something to watch here in week 1 of the season, tackling. Because you and I both know that in the preseason, a lot of these guys don't play a whole lot. Plus the intensity and the speed really ratchets up on opening week.
They'll run on first down. It's Cook, and he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Now they run with Sims, and he's got 4 down inside the 20 to the 18.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. Now Cousins. And that is incomplete.
I think that was a good job there defensively. They did allow them to drive all the way downfield, but once they got their backs to the goal line, they really turned up the pressure.
Yeah, they let them get all the way down here. Now the field shrinks. They've struggled to convert, and that last incompletion brings up fourth. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
Prater now will send it away following the made field goal. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. Of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30.
Mike's 5-4, Mike's 5-4, Mike's 5-4. Yo, 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 yo. Yo! Bravo!
To throw is Love. He's going to let this one go deep. They've got his man complete. And they finally do get him, but not before he reaches the 27. Luck to Hilton on the hook up there. 44 yards. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Now a give, right side. Godfrey, and he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. Different story this time around. We had that huge gain, followed by a sizable loss here.
Second, right, 674. So we got man.
Now on 2nd and 13. Luck. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. A gain of 28 yards there and give them a 1st down. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
290. Here we go.
They'll try to run with Hines. And he takes it in for a Colts score. Taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Colts are able to draw a bit closer.
The touchdown was scored by the runner, but the offensive line, they feel like it's theirs. They blocked that one up perfectly, allowed him easy access to the end zone.
Brett Maher on for the extra point. He's got it, and it's a 27-10 score now. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first timeout. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And the Vikings able to recover. The hands team does its job. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of an anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number as empirical.
First down, Minnesota.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. They're going to be stopped up on this first down run. He might have gotten back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. And quickly we're going to get another stop here with 1:54 left as they call the timeout defensively.
At the 33-yard line.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. 8 yards on the run there, and that leaves them with 3rd and just a couple.
And that's the kind of run that gets everyone excited on offense. And, you know, oftentimes the guys who carry the ball are the ones in the huddle doing the chirping. Right now, I think it's the offensive line telling them, run it again. We are right there about to break a big one.
Now the Colts going to burn the second of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. They'll run it. Here's Cook. And Cook was fighting for it, but I don't think he got there. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd. Now the Colts will use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll get it with just over 90 seconds to go in the ball game. So now here comes the field goal team for the 3rd time today. From the left hash, it's a 42-yard attempt. Prater's kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So they recovered the fumble, but ultimately could not take advantage of the short field.
Definitely a lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position to put 6 on the board. Ended up settling for 3.
Fielded about a yard deep. And it'll be a terrific return here as he gets it down all the way inside the 30.
Even after that big-time return, it's not looking great for them today. But if nothing else, even if the miracle doesn't happen, they can turn to this play and say, hey, we can move forward. Maybe it's a building block for the rest of the season.
Right here, right here.
Luck on 1st down. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13.
So go. Blue 90. Hey, let's get this,
Now Luck. And not only did he drop it, he dropped it in the end zone.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long.
Right there.
A shotgun snap for Luck. And that will be incomplete. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same Surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
Looks like the offense is going to take another shot here. They're going on 4th and 13. Here we go on 4th. Lock. And it is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And defensively, that might just seal a Week 1 victory. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And with the defense out of timeouts, powerless to stop the clock, this should just be a couple of kneel downs. And just how they envision the start of the season, kneeling it down, defense can't stop the clock. This one's a winner.
You know, it's really strange. I think a lot of people think that the kneel down practice stuff really only happens like one time a week. The best teams I know, they practice it starting back in OTAs. They want them to visualize winning a game and how great that feels, and they got it done in this one.
Yep, a knee gets them to 1-0. So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory. And, partner, I must say, good to see you again. Been too long. And it's good to have football back, isn't it?
Didn't you see me in preseason? Weren't we together in preseason?
Yeah, but preseason, you know, it's preseason. This is Week 1.
Oh, you're trying to say real football.
Real football.
Not preseason football where we shake down the rosters and figure out who's going to play, and maybe the starters don't play as much. Now it's the frontline guys from the first whistle.
Yeah, I tuned you out in the preseason. And now I'm listening to you. So for Minnesota, not much to complain about here. They come in and steal a victory in a tough place to play